Hi, this is Snaily Snail. So today I thought I would talk about body image and just instances in my life that have affected me and what I have done now to change that. I remember my very first memory of just being very conscious of my body was when I was watching TV. I was probably in second grade, so I was watching this Cantonese movie and it had this woman. I did not know that she was in a fat suit. Yeah, uh, I'm just very impressionable, okay? But this whole movie was just her losing weight, finding love. There's this one scene that was especially memorable. It's when this guy is chasing after the woman to spit out the candy, and she actually spits out the candy. And I was like, oh, I didn't know candy makes you fat. Because I think I was eating maybe, I don't know, like a pound of candy a week. And after that, I decided, all right, I'm not gonna have any candy. And I think going forward, my friends also had this very same thought that they were too big. We would skip lunch all the time. It was also the period where they would put lots of got milk posters everywhere. I remember the swim instructor was like, well, if you guys aren't gonna eat, at least drink milk. It got to a point where we all looked pretty emaciated. And I remember going jean shopping at Old Navy and I couldn't fit a zero. It was way too baggy on me. So some parents, they buy clothes a little bit baggier because you'll grow into them. That's what my parents did. Another alternative was to buy clothes directly from China because the sizing is just a lot smaller. There was only one time where I had an actual problem with the clothing. There was this one pair of shorts that I had. It had really intricate lace detailing with a couple sequins sewed in. But every single time I wore it, there was a stabbing pain in my right thigh. And I would tell my parents that, and they're just like, oh my God, you're just exaggerating. You just want to wear like your comfortable cargo pants and stuff. So one day they finally flipped over the shorts and they found a needle that was this big inside my shorts. So they finally believed me after that. I'm super grateful that 8th grade came around and that's when puberty hit. I would eat everything in sight. I gained like 50 pounds and then I also grew like 7 more inches. This period of time in my life lasted for a very long time because I was just surrounded by the same people all the time who were constantly concerned about their weight, their appearances, and they were also being told things that were probably a lot harsher than what my parents were telling me. And then we were all holding each other to those standards, which was so unhealthy. I'm so grateful that I was able to see this pattern that was happening and just take a break from some of those people because it's so exhausting. And it didn't help when, like, sometimes I'm just walking and my parents would say something like, oh, 呢個款結啊結啊. Or my aunt, I remember, 要是話名除了已經嗌個磅出來, and I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? For a long time, I thought I had a pear-shaped body, but when I finally spoke to someone who does styling, she was like, no, you're a rectangle. I found out how to dress myself because I think I was emphasizing and unemphasizing lots of parts that probably did not need all that. So lots of my tops were for people with short torsos, which I did not have, or the inseam of my pants were always too short, so I really looked weird. So yeah, I'm just so grateful that I was able to start dressing myself. I still got some weird comments once I started working. There was this one lady, she would not stop fixating on my body. She would say, oh my God, your body is so shapely. How do you get your calves looking like that? I would give her my workout routine, but even then she just like wouldn't believe me, and I'm like, well, maybe it has to do with, you know, just like age and how my body distributes my muscle and fat. And if you're curious, I literally just walk on incline to get my calves. At work, whenever someone brings up the topic of my body, I just take the compliment and then try to change the topic into something like, oh yeah, and also we're working on this for the project, what do you think? Or I really liked your idea about this. So that way they're not constantly thinking about it. But I do have one great memory from work. So the place that I worked at, it was very casual. You can kind of just wear whatever you want, like t-shirt and jeans were totally okay. But we have days where you are supposed to dress up, and I am just the type of person who will have an extra set of clothes because you just never know what's going to happen, or if someone's going to ask you to do a presentation, you just want to be prepared. This one coworker of mine, she forgot that we were supposed to dress up, so she was borrowing left and right. She already had a blouse on, so it was fine. And I was like, oh hey, you can just borrow one of my skirts, because I think skirts, if they're a part of the business suit, they're a little bit more forgiving than pants. She tried it on and it fit her like a glove, and she was just like, oh my god, I feel 20 years old again. So that was a feel-good moment for her. And I think we're all constantly working towards bettering ourselves and feeling good in our own skin, because there are women who I work with who are maybe like 15 to 20 years older than I am, and they're constantly comparing their bodies to mine, and I'm here like, girl, you pushed out 5 babies, you're not going to look exactly the same as I am. And like, I have not pushed out any babies, just for the record. I think curating a closet that makes me feel very comfortable in my body has helped me in just accepting what I do have, because all my clothes, they really work well with each other, and it's so easy to mix and match. So for example, I have 5 of these camis. They're just in different colors, but they're in the same cut. And then I love my cardigans. They're so comfortable, and I just like the movement that it gives. And now I don't really focus on fitting into the clothes, but rather making sure that the clothes fit me. For instance, if I find a blazer that is just a little bit too long in the arms, or it's okay, because there are some things you can't fix in a blazer, like you can't fix the shoulders, but if I find that it fits in the shoulders but not in the waist area, you can always get it tailored. And you can also get the sleeves on your blazers shortened, but it really depends on like the button placement. If there's no fabric leeway, you can't get that tailored. So that's just like what I look for now in clothing. If it doesn't make me feel good, I just put it back. No hard feelings. I remember I hated going jean shopping because it was a constant reminder that I can't fit into these jeans. But now, thankfully, there are lots of alternative materials. So they incorporate 1% of elastane or spandex into lots of the jeans now, so there is a bit of stretch. I find that it's so much easier for me to shop now. So now, instead of watching the movies and like constantly comparing myself, I will look at their outfits instead and just see how they styled it and why it works, and then try to apply it to my own wardrobe. And that sort of just helps me veer away from thinking about someone's body shape or like how they should look like, things like that aren't going to be productive in my own life. Body image is just one of those things that everyone is constantly working on. I think a lot of times we just need to be a lot nicer to ourselves. All right, I will end the video here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week. Bye!